Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Hilchot Niddah, the Halachot of Ketamim-stains. This is not necessarily to be learned for halacha l'maaseh, practical halacha, as much as just an overview of some of the halachot of Niddah. And this first year we'll deal with the halachot of staining. The halacha is Midoraita. A woman is considered Niddah in certain specific cases, if she has hagarsha, certain specific sensations, or if she has a riyah, a flow of blood. The Midrabanan stated that even if she doesn't have that, but she sees a stain on the underwear, for example, then that, if it's a certain size, that would render her Niddah as well. The size specifically is the size, it turns out to be the size of a gris, a certain kind of a bean, and the poskim say that's just about the size of a U.S. penny. And when she does have a kesem, a stain on her underwear, and it's the size of a penny or more, she would be tamei drabanan. Although it's only drabanan, halachot is pretty much the same as the Midoraita status. She still has to count 5 days and then 7 clean days. Goes to the mikveh, makes a bracha at the mikveh, because she is halachically defined as someone who's tamei and needs to be rendered tahor through the mikveh process. One difference is that when it's a riyah, an actual flow, then that day, let's say it was a Wednesday, the 5th of Iyar, so now for the 5th of Sivan, there's an assumption of a Veset. It's all of a Veset, that maybe that day is setting up a new cycle. But when she becomes a Niddah through a Ketam, then she does not have the Halachot of a Veset from that day, even though she may be considered Niddah. Regarding the size, it has to be the size of a gris, which is the size of a penny, as we said. But if there's 2 separate spots on the underwear, 3, 4, 5 separate spots, but they are not connected, each one is less than a gris, then even if they would add up together to be more than a penny, still that would not be considered a ketem, since each spot independently is not the right size. However, the poskim say, let's say she has a stain on underwear that are white and colored. We'll learn in a moment that colored underwear do not render her a niddah, even if the ketem is big enough. However, let's say it's white and colored, and there's one big stain covering the white area and the colored area, and then there's a white area, and the colored area combines the 2 areas. And let's say on the white, there's about the size of half a penny. On the other side, other place where there's white, there's also a half of a penny size, and the big stain is connected through the colored part of the garment. So there the poskim say that even though the area that's on the colored garment does not add up to make the gris, but it will render the stain one big ketem, and therefore it will be considered to be joined together. It would be like a half of a penny of half-size penny of dam on the white with a little tiny strip connecting to another part of the white. That's one stain. So here too, if it goes through the dark part of the garment, the colored part of the garment, it's still considered to be one stain, and whatever's on the white would add up together. If she has a wound, a makkah, and the stain can be attributed to the makkah, whether it's in the vaginal area, or let's say she on her thigh has a makkah, and it's close to the covered by the upper part of the thigh, and it's realistic that the dam, the stain on the underwear, can be attributed to the makkah, so then that also would not render her a niddah in such a case as well. And finally, one more point for our overview is that if a woman does have a ketem, and she needs to check it out, whether it's the right color or whether it's the right size, and she's going to go to the Rav to check out to see if she's tummy or not. So women sometimes think, oh, let me do a Bedika to see if I'm having blood. It really is not a prudent move at all, because it's very possible that the stain that's on her garments is from a makkah. The rabbi might determine that, or it might not be the right size, might not be the right color, and then she's fine. Going ahead and checking, if she goes in and does a Bedika, the second she sees even a spot of blood, that's it. she's going to be a Niddah. So there's only what to lose from doing Bedika, because if the stain does not render her a Niddah, then the Bedika checking might render her a Niddah. And if the stain renders her a Niddah, so she's already a Niddah. So there's really no benefit, no reason to check in the typical case. This is part 1 of Hilchot Niddah, an overview of Ketamim. Mitzvah will continue in the next year. Shalom.